966.
Saudi Aramco signs agreement to establish carbon capture and storage hub. Saudi Arabia signed a joint development agreement with SLB and Linde to establish a carbon capture and storage hub, which will potentially be able to safely store up to 9 million tons of carbon dioxide a year by 2027. The company's CEO, Amin Nasser, said on Thursday. Aramco is set to contribute around 6 million tons, he added, with the rest to come from other industrial sources. Now, this is 9 million tons a year. The facility will be located in Jubail on the east coast of Saudi Arabia with a goal of making a significant contribution to the 44 million tons the kingdom plans to capture by 2035.
I don't have much to add to this story, Richard, but this is amazing. This is an amazing story. You just talked about this, but this is like part of this, a million hands in a million different directions to help out and invest in what is going to be the next 3 decades of solutions to the problem of climate change. And this is such a cool story.
It is. And like we talked about, so this is a blue hydrogen side of it. And, the carbon capture at these scales, again, they're not sure they're going to do it. Now, I think the hope for Saudi Arabia is, all right, we're going to do this at scale. And on the way to achieving this, we're going to learn a boatload in terms of technological need and how to actually do this and be the better for it. But yeah, it is interesting now. This carbon capture and where to store it is a fundamental aspect of the whole Jafurah natural gas plant that they're doing. Because you get the natural gas and you capture the carbon and then you have blue hydrogen. And it's interesting. And this is sorry, this is another shout out. Another person I would love to have on this show is the Ministry of Energy's head of hydrogen. Zayed Al Gharib, who's has been at the COP27, is talking about, but he made an interesting point. So, Mr. Zayed Al Gharib, you're welcome. Please come join us on the 966. He said the country did not want to differentiate between green and blue hydrogen, both of which, of course, is developing. Instead, just to prefer a focus on reducing carbon intensity across the board. So, we'll have some blue hydrogen, we'll have some green hydrogen. That's from renewable energy, but the whole purpose is to move every one of these is less intensive in terms of carbon emissions than fossil fuels and crude. So anyway, Zayed Al Gharib, come join
us. Yeah. So, Richard, this is interesting. So I'm trying to put this into scale. Like, what is a ton of carbon and what does it mean if it's captured? So the EPA estimates an average gas-powered car that gets 22 miles per gallon emits about 5 tons of carbon dioxide a year, or 4.5 metric tons. Okay, so 5 tons of carbon dioxide a year. So let's see, divided by 9 million tons, that is
it's got to be
45,000. Yeah, 45,000. Sorry, 450,000 cars it's taking out of the contribution to the carbon dioxide. So that's huge. I mean, that's massive. That's impressive. Yeah. And that's annually too. So wherever this is happening, if this is happening there, it's also, we know it's happening in the Gulf Coast of the United States and elsewhere. Yeah, part of the solution mix as well. Very cool.
450,000 cars, you said?
Yeah, I think so, right? If it's
now, if you were using the 1970 Mercedes diesel that I drove in graduate school, and the amount it emitted, I would probably, that'd have to be amended to maybe like 45, because that thing that emitted so much. That diesel emitted so much stuff.
Or my 1996 F-150 that I love so much, but has 2 gas tanks, and I don't even know the mileage per gallon it gets.
But your range must be enormous.
When you start it up, it just spews a bunch of emissions out, and you can physically see it. It's going to be a relic soon. It's not a Lucid, which I'm driving that truck only because the Lucid has not been delivered. So
that's true. I've got my truck emits a little less, but again, it's just a placeholder for the Lucid.